Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Fusion 360. In this tutorial, we're going to look at using the Loft tool, the Revolve tool, the Shell tool, and the Fillet tool to create an item like the one in front of us right now on the screen. So let's get straight into it. First thing I'm going to do is create a new design and save my new design and give it a name. I'll start my first sketch. So this will be the bottom of the cup. And I'm going to use the rectangle tool and the center rectangle tool here. I'm going to draw this, and the dimensions will be at the bottom 80 by 80. So I type in 80, press tab, 80 again, press return, and I've got my 80 by 80 square. I finish sketch. Now I'm going to draw another sketch up here. It's going to be the second sketch in the loft, but I need to create a work plane first. So offset plane from the bottom, I'm going to drag it up 120 millimeters. Click OK, and then sketch onto that new plane. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the 3-point arc, and I'm going to use the grid for this. So I'm going to click there, up here somewhere. Looks about right. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat that in a circular pattern. So select the arc, center point, 4 repeats. It looks right. Click OK, and it's shaded it in blue, so it's closed boundary. I'm going to click Finish Sketch, go to my home view, and now I'm going to use the Loft tool to connect the two sketches to each other. So loft that to there. It's created that form for me. So I'm going to use the Fillet tool now just to round these edges over a little bit. So select them. And I think I'm going to go for 4 millimeters. That's 40, I don't want 44. There we go. So that looks about right. Click OK. And then I'll put a small fillet on the bottom also. Okay, so before I go any further now, what I'm going to do is make a copy of this body. So if I go over into my bodies list, right click on body 1, click move/copy, and then click create copy. Okay, so now I've got two bodies, body 1, body 2, and they're replicas of each other. I'm going to label these, so I'm going to rename the bodies. So rename, and I'll call this one cup, and I'll call this one water. Okay, so I'm going to turn the water off, and now I'm going to shell this body to create the cup. So the shell tool here, select the top surface and choose a wall thickness. I'm going to go for 3 millimeters, might go smaller, 2. Center, there we go. So we've got a cup and it's shelled, so it's good to go. So I'm going to close my cup down, open up the water, and now what we're going to do to make it look like the water inside is we'll use the Revolve tool, but to cut and remove material to create this sort of peaky thing here, and then we'll add 2 spheres afterwards. So I need to start a sketch, and because these are in the center of the body, I can just select any of these. I'll have the little splash peak thing off center. So I'll put a center line in there just as a reference for me. And then I'll use the fit point spline to create the form that I want. So probably won't get this right first time. But I want to close this boundary. So connect those up. So it's shaded blue, so it's closed. Click Finish Sketch, Home View. And then we use the Revolve tool. So we're going to revolve that profile, selected it for me, select the axis, and then have another look. So it's missed some of the material here and there, but it kind of looks okay. So I'm going to click OK, reopen the sketch, and just drag that node out there. And now it should include, there we go. So that kind of works. So I'm just going to add those spheres of the droplets of water up here to look something like this one that we've got here. So start sketch again, back on that plane. I'm going to press P on my keyboard to project some geometry, and I'll select that. So it should allow me to attach this to the center, yeah. So I'm going to draw straight up, tick, then a circle for one sphere, a circle for another. I can adjust these afterwards if they don't look right. That one was 4, so I'll go for 4 on that one. Click OK. Revolve. So select that profile and that profile around that axis. There we go. So it's starting to look a little bit alike. And then on the water here, I'm just going to fillet that edge there, around there. Really small, 1mm fillet. Okay. And then if we turn the cup on now, it's starting to look right. Now what we have got, so I'm going to undo that fillet actually because I've missed a step out. What we have got here is a cup and the water, but the water's not inside the cup. It's kind of overlapping a little bit. So we're going to use the combine tool. So target body, I want to cut away from the water. My tool body is the cup, but I want to keep the tool. So that's ticked there. If that's unticked, you'll lose the cup here. Click OK. So that should have done that now. So let's double check, turn the cup off. Yeah, it's looking right now. So turn that off and I can do that fillet that I did before. Try again. 1mm. Okay. So let's turn those bodies on. And that is the cup drawn. Now we're going to go into the render mode and have a play around with some different materials. So on my one here, at the minute I've got a blue cup, and on the thumbnail I've used brush steel there with water. So we'll go into here and have a look at the different materials that we could use. So stainless, brushed, let's go for that. And then we do have water as a material, so we're going to use water and see how it looks. Can't see it at the minute though. Let's see if I can find it. Oh dear. Liquid. That's it. I was looking for water and it should have been liquid. There we go. Close that. I think I might change the background for white and just do a quick in-canvas render to see how it looks. It's a bit pinky. It's okay. Well, that's coming in really dark. Okay. So I'm going to play around with some lighting settings just to improve that. So back to the design tab. I'm going to do a little cheat light now. So offset plane. I'm going to offset it from the bottom. High up. Sketch on that plane. Circle. Extrude. I'm going to rotate it so it's looking at the cup. Okay. Back into the render tab. Materials library. Search for LED. And I use this LED, change it to faces, and I'll turn that face into an LED light. And let's do an in-canvas render again. So that's looking a little bit better, but my background's all gone super white now. So let's change it into dark blue. Flatten ground. That's okay, that flatten ground, reflections. Let's see how this looks. We're starting to get there now. So if I left this for long enough now, I could have a nice high resolution image like the one that we've got in the thumbnail. So thank you for watching. Hope that was enjoyable for you. See you again.